We want to act as if we are not like our ancestors or we're not like the generation before us, but the way we fall for representation each and every time, we are no different and we have learned nothing. Let's talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What's going on, y'all? This video is sponsored by NASA. I'm kidding, but you never know with YouTube and its algorithm and its ad process. But what's going on, you all? I want to have a conversation about representation and how it is getting us nowhere and how we are still falling for the okie doke that got us in trouble in 2008, 2012, 2016, and even 2020. Like, girl, it is a mess. I am tired. No, I'm not talking about Joe Biden. I am talking about the recent conversation that went viral on Twitter about Black NASA. There were a lot of posts and tweets and stuff, and I want to talk about it. And let me tell you something. If you are uncomfortable about me dragging representation, if folks being black and having locks and dreads or whatever you want to call it this week in front of an American flag with a suit on, get your basement flooded, this ain't the video for you, because we have got to let representation go. So recently a tweet went viral of this black engineer who said, official NASA headshot just dropped. And in this picture, you see this beautiful black man with locks in front of the American flag and the NASA flag with a suit on. And the picture went viral. I think it has 35 million views so far, 20,000 reposts, engagement is off the chain. And other black folks who work for NASA have posted pictures of them in front of the American flag and the NASA with their suit on. And it was black excellence for the first 2 days. Now, unfortunately, we're finding out that the person where the tweet went viral from, Black NASA, has been called out for being an abuser in a previous relationship, and people were not believing it until someone shared a video of them basically admitting that they were abusive in their relationship and they had shorter hair. The video is old. I don't know how old it is. I feel like that's irrelevant. This person who had went viral for just being in a suit with locks working for NASA was able to get so much social capital, so much posted on them that they are a good person, and no one knew anything about this person. It goes into the conversation that I've been having about parasocial relationships and even us needing representation by way of the US imperialist agenda. Like, it is not funny, but it's funny watching how everybody was just jumping for joy. And people were being critical of the tweets, like, hey, y'all are getting y'all doing a little too much about this Black NASA stuff. Like, these folks work for NASA, and NASA is somewhat, shape or form, tied to the military. Even though when you look it up, they will say NASA is a public, they only look to Congress, like Congress runs them. They do not respond to the Department of Defense, all that other stuff. But a lot of the research that is developed at NASA benefits the Department of Defense. It benefits the military. A lot of the research and stuff that comes from that is used for the US government, its military industrial complex, period. I don't understand how people having a conversation about that. You know what I do? Because I used to be one of those folks. I used to be one of those folks who would say, y'all, we can't have nothing. Y'all always mad at stuff. Like, why we can't? Y'all just always upset. Like, we can't have anything. And I think when I hear folks say we can't have nothing, well, yes, that's the point. That all of these things are inherently evil. All of them. That's why we keep having conversations about the US being the global police. That is why folks are very critical of the US government, about all the things that's going on across the world, and how every little thing that might bring us joy we need to be putting a magnifying glass on it, because these are things of the state and tools that are used to continue on the harm that the U.S. is responsible for across the world. We can't have anything, because the things that we are having, what do they mean? If they're just making us smile and making us feel good for a moment, and we're talking about representation and all that, have we not seen this meme posted over and over again? I can't even post it, but this meme of folks in the cartoon, oh, you know, even though they're dropping bombs, I guess it's better because, you know, it's representation tied to it. It doesn't matter who is, you know, in the picture or who is in charge. What it is doing is harming other folks, other people across the world. Like, and this is coming from someone who is a veteran. This is someone who fell into the tactics that the Army uses to get poor working class minorities to sign up and be a part of the system. I am a victim of that, period. And I don't have an issue saying that. I have no issue, because I want other black folks to find other ways to get out of whatever situation they are in, and do not fall victim to the military, because they are in our children's high schools, middle schools, recruiting them. The recruitment tactics that the military use to get young folks, specifically poor working class minorities, to sign up, they are in the games. They are collecting data on your children playing on these games. They have whole accounts that are collecting data to persuade our children to sign up. The military uses so much money to keep their image. Even something as simple as watching Independence Day. We're watching the military fight aliens and all that other stuff and keep them from attacking the world and, you know, taking over. We constantly see that. We see it over and over and over again. There are no aliens attacking us. You know what's attacking us right now? Our own federal government is attacking us right now. And who is in charge of the military? The federal government. The Department of Defense has a whole organization that works with Hollywood to allow Hollywood movies to film using military equipment. And in that, when they use the military's equipment and stuff, the organization that is ran by the Department of Defense, they have to oversee, if you're going to use our tanks and all that other stuff, we have to look like the good guys in this movie. If you're going to use our stuff, we have to make sure that we look like the good people, period. That's why we see it in Superman. All, like the Marvel movies, the DC, all of it is propaganda. And this representation that we're seeing with this NASA stuff is propaganda too, and we're falling for it. It's not propaganda that is being put out directly from the Department of Defense, but it's stuff that we are doing. It's stuff that we are doing because we yearn for some type of approval in these systems. Because some of us seem to think that maybe if black folks are in these organizations and working and doing this stuff, maybe we can change the tide. And it's just like, girl, no. First of all, they don't even want y'all there. There was a whole lawsuit filed last year against NASA because black folks were not being hired, they were not being treated fairly, and there was all types of discrimination going on for folks who were working for NASA. Now, we are going up about hair textures and locks and stuff in these pictures on NASA. And someone had to file a lawsuit against NASA and talked about their hair being compared to pubic hair. Gazaway recalled colleagues once accused him of leaving pubic hair in a sink. It was just me brushing my hair. I had to go through the pain of trying to explain those sensitivities concerning my ethnic background, said Gazaway. This is what we are going up for. So we are falling for these pictures of black men and black women in locks and, you know, hairstyles and stuff, and we're like clapping it up, and we're falling for it. And the conversation turned so classist and elitist just like that. When the video went viral of this man who's like started the tweet, went viral, you had a lot of folks who were saying, y'all hating, y'all are hating, y'all always mad, it's always y'all poor folks who need GoFundMes, and y'all upset, the GoFundMe warriors and stuff, y'all the ones that's always upset. Somebody with 30, 40,000 followers on Twitter posted and said that all the people who were upset were the GoFundMe warriors. These are folks who are sometimes on the ground or online organizing things and helping folks get money for groceries and stuff. Y'all may think that crowdfunding is not revolutionary. Crowdfunding is keeping a lot of black folks alive right now. We've been passing on the same $20 since 2020. I don't understand how we're making fun of people for crowdfunding and asking for money. We're seeing statistics every week of Americans not being able to afford a $500 emergency without relying on a credit card, if they even have access to a credit card with that limit, or if the credit card is not maxed out, because a lot of us have maxed out credit cards. I don't understand how everybody is so coined up and everybody is rich. Then we look at statistics, they're saying that, girl, 60% of us are poor. I'm not understanding how y'all are all rich but happy to file taxes and get a coin back. If you are making the money that you say and you try to say that you're making online, you will be paying into tax or you won't be getting a check back. So what is it? It's nothing wrong with being poor, because being poor is not a direct effect of a person doing wrong. It is the system allowing folks to be poor and be exploited. All of us are being exploited in some way, shape, or form. And I don't understand how folks feel like they are better because they have a higher paying job or they're not poor. Goes to what Ryan was saying in their TikTok video, that y'all don't like black folks because y'all don't want to be associated with ghetto-ness. Like, y'all do not want to be associated with that type of blackness. And y'all do everything in y'all power to be separated from it. Which is why all of y'all are going up for these black folks in these spaces having these quote unquote good jobs. And these good jobs are making sure that the military, the Department of Defense, continues to do its work across the world of being the police of the world. Y'all think NASA is just us getting to the moon and exploring across the galaxy or the universe? Girl, no, this is not Hidden Figures. And even if we take a magnifying glass and pay attention to Hidden Figures, the story of that white man making the restroom neutral didn't even happen. It wasn't even real. It wasn't even real. This movie was done for white folks to feel comfortable for themselves. We'll have black stories being told about overcoming, you know, things or whatever, like in Hidden Figures, and then we'll have a fictional character created because white people feel so guilty for the harm that they have done that they have to have a white savior added in to make them feel better in watching the movie, because white people cannot watch a movie where they're being the evil villain. They have to have some white person that was doing some type of good, because then, oh, well, you know, I'm not like them. So the representation that we are seeing in these pictures is nothing that we can do anything with. And how so many people, by way of defending this man who they knew nothing about, y'all are talking down to poor folks, making fun of folks needing money to pay their bills and their rent, for a man who is now being called out for being an abuser. Y'all are now talking down to these folks to support somebody who y'all don't know. And y'all are doing that because this person in this picture, desirable, they're in a suit, they have a high-paying job, they're making money, they have to be good. They have to be good. This is a good thing, Savannah. This is a good thing. Y'all don't know anything about it. Don't know anything diddly squat about it. And y'all are now dragging folks for bringing a real conversation that is needed. That why are we excited about this? Why y'all mad at black folks doing better? Why y'all upset? What does black folks doing good look like when it's just a black person taking a position at a organization that is helping the military industrial complex in the US? Like, what is that? Y'all will say y'all are not like y'all aunties, uncles, grandparents and stuff that were excited about Kamala Harris being the first AKA black female vice president when she has a terrible record of things that she done as a prosecutor in California, prosecuting poor black folks, poor black parents for their children having truancy issues. Y'all are no different than the black folks who are going up for the black police officers, or the black chief of police. Y'all are no different because y'all are not ready to really let representation go. It means that much to you that maybe one day you will be able to get out of the situation that you are in. And nothing about this will save all of us. And how some of you all, because I'm going to get into it now. Some of y'all are so elitist. Y'all fraternity, sorority folks, y'all was the one eating this up. Y'all were dragging poor folks. Y'all are the main culprits of the Black Excellence Brigade. That is all of y'all. The folks who have 1906 in their bios. Some of y'all have Morehouse Man. Some of y'all be the folks eating that stuff up. Usually when I see stuff like that and folks being nasty, it is usually y'all. Not all of us. I follow some folks who do understand it, who, you know what, will take it out their bios. We'll take it out of their bios. We'll talk about it. But that's not who they are as a person, because some of y'all who are in these organizations need to feel though y'all are better than the other black folks. Y'all want to feel as though y'all have picked yourselves up from y'all bootstraps and that y'all don't want to be associated with that. Y'all are the ones doing these TikTok videos. I'm black, but such and such. I'm black, but I don't like this. I'm black, but I don't like that. Y'all don't like black people. And you want to be a different type of black. That's why y'all have trap karaoke, trap brunch, trap this. Y'all don't want to be around a trap unless it's beneficial for you all, which is the same thing that white people do when they want certain things. They want the aesthetic of blackness, but they don't want to be around it. They like blackness, but don't like black people. You are their brother. You are their sister. That is you. Because y'all yearn for the acceptance of whiteness. Period. And I'm not saying that y'all are bad, terrible people for wanting that, because that is the world that we live in. Some of us have been guilty of it in the past. I have been guilty of it in the past. And that is the work that I am continuously doing to check myself. Even in this NASA thing, I'm like, I didn't say anything negative, but I was like, something is not right about this. I don't want to be easily influenced by a picture of a black person with locks in front of a US flag. I don't want to be happy about that. Why am I not? And I didn't choose to engage because I know that it's sensitive for some people. But the way that some folks were engaged, and they were very careful in how they talked about it because they knew they was going to be met with all types of negative comments, but y'all have no problem jumping to the worst. Y'all were eating somebody up for bringing it up, making fun of people who had GoFundMes and who were crowdfunding. Y'all were trying to get a whole account taken down because of that. Y'all are not good people doing good deeds. How are you caring about black folks in this type of setting, but not caring about the black folks who have nothing? What is that? So you only care about blackness when it's beneficial for you, when it looks good to you. And what looks good to you? That's the question I'm asking. Because now y'all are out here deleting tweets because y'all being called out. Homeboy was not trying to take any accountability in anything, was just like, well, I got a good paying job. I ain't gonna let y'all be negative, start quoting Bible scriptures, the whole nine, the whole thing. When people have told y'all like, hey, we should be going up for this. Why are y'all upset? What is that doing to y'all? If you really wanted to know, you would have started researching like I did. When the conversation started happening and people were saying it, I got online and started doing research about NASA and what NASA is actually doing. But y'all don't want to see the truth because then you will have to look inside yourself. You don't want to know the truth, sister. You don't want to because it'll hurt everything that you live for. It will break everything that you believe in. Because some of y'all truly believe if y'all are a black person in a suit and perform respectability politics, that you will make it in this world. Some of y'all truly do not want to wrestle with this world being nasty. And folks are reminding y'all so much. That's why y'all hate Twitter. Y'all hate these folks because these people who are struggling and don't have, they know how messed up the system is. And it's a lot of them. And y'all do not respect what they're saying because they are poor. You don't want to hear anything from a poor person because you truly believe that a poor person being poor is their problem. It's not a systematic problem, it's their problem. You are the reason why you are poor. And your negative attitude and negative thinking is what's keeping you poor. So if someone has a college degree, is an engineer, you know, very intelligent, able to get a job at NASA and all of these things, if all of these things are true about people in these settings, why did he feel the need to be abusive to his previous partner? I haven't even gotten to the conversation about desirability about him because I know y'all ain't ready for that too, some of y'all. But the reason why y'all was even happy to defend him because y'all did like the way he looked. And y'all can't see anybody looking like him doing any wrong. Especially someone with a good job and a suit on, oh my gosh. We got some stuff to work on. We really do. We really have some stuff to work on. And I was just really disappointed. Even folks who I follow who were being shady in the tweets and stuff, I saw it. I'm not stupid. I see some stuff. I saw how y'all were engaging in the conversation. I saw how y'all were engaged in the conversation, and now y'all have to eat everything that y'all were saying. Now y'all are trying to twist stuff and make it seem as though, oh, well, you know, no, girl. Representation will not save us, period. And y'all fell for an okie-doke with a black person with locks standing in front and sitting in front of a U.S. flag, and that made y'all get up for joy. The last point before ending this video that I really wish I talked about more was the idea of us needing a hero out of people we do not know. Us needing to have a hero, someone who can be the shining representation or the person who can be the catalyst or something for the revolution. Nobody is perfect, and we need to let go of that. Not one person can be responsible for representation and a revolution, point blank, period. It takes people to come together, not one person. We throw things on people and we want them to be the hero and we know absolutely nothing about them. And then we get upset at ourselves for placing someone who we do not know on a pedestal. And then when they fall short, we're upset with them when we should be upset at ourselves, continuously needing to see a hero in someone that we do not know. We really need to work on that. Period.